our top stories. Ruto addresses lawmakers as his historic visit ends.
Our destinies are intertwined, and our strength lies in moving forward together.
New optimism as Tanzania and Kenya enter a new era of economic ties.
The results of the forum today will add a lot of value, will open markets.
Well, just a reminder, you can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and X pages, all at TBC Online. Thanks very much for joining us. My name is Nasa Kengo. The President of Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, has today made history as the first Kenyan president to address the Parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania in Dodoma in a speech centered on unity, economic cooperation, and the future of the regional integration in East Africa. In his address, President Ruto praised the growing partnership between Tanzania and Kenya while calling for stronger collaboration in trade, investment, and strategic sectors. Teddy Mparanyanga has more.
The relationship between Tanzania and Kenya took center stage in Parliament today as Kenyan President William Ruto delivered a landmark address highlighting the growing partnership between the two East African nations. He says the bond between the two nations was built by visionary leadership from their founding fathers, whose commitment to African unity laid the groundwork for regional integration.
Fathers, Mzee Julius, Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere, and Mzee Jomo Kenyatta saw beyond this prism. They understood that Africa's future would not be secured in isolation, but in unity, and they planted the seed of regional integration because our destinies are intertwined, and our strength lies in moving forward together.
President Ruto emphasized that the future of the region depends on unity, urging both countries to strengthen cooperation and work together in confronting shared challenges.
That community stands renewed and expanded, but its foundation remains the same. A growing partnership between our nations, defined not by the absence of challenges, but by our ability to overcome them and move forward together in pursuit of shared growth and shared strength.
On economic cooperation, President Ruto highlights the growing investment and bilateral collaboration in key sectors, including trade, infrastructure, agriculture, and energy, saying stronger economic ties will unlock great opportunities for citizens in both nations.
And Tanzania are deeply interdependent. Our bilateral trade reached approximately $860 million in 2025, and we are on course to hitting $1 billion this year, a reflection of growing opportunity. But this is only a fraction of what is possible. Investment cooperation stands as a central pillar of our bilateral relations.
The address marks another step in strengthening diplomatic and economic relations between Tanzania and Kenya as both nations push for deeper regional integration under the East African Community. Teddy Mparanyanga, TBC News.
Meanwhile, President Ruto has arrived in Nairobi, Kenya, after concluding his two-day state visit to Tanzania. President William Ruto concluded a two-day state visit to Tanzania, which included bilateral talks focusing on boosting trade, infrastructure cooperation, and regional integration. President also addressed the Tanzanian Parliament, as we know, before departing, marking the end of the diplomatic engagement aimed at strengthening Tanzania-Kenya relations. Director of International Trade and Economic Diplomacy at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Ambassador John Ulanga, says the commitment expressed by Tanzania and Kenya to eliminate all remaining non-tariff barriers so as to create a seamless cross-border trade will benefit Tanzania more as it's supposed to increase its export to Kenya. Speaking to the TBC News, Ambassador Ulanga insisted that the step will benefit Tanzania's key sectors and increase Tanzania's investments in Kenya.
The best that has to happen currently, to a large extent, is the increased role of private sector. You could see in 2 days, the president has hosted 2 presidents. There was president of Rwanda, who just came yesterday. Today we have president of Kenya, and then you might have other presidents in the future. What does it mean? That as the president, she has put all her efforts to open opportunities for trade and investment, to put in place the right policies, but also where there are barriers, to work with fellow heads of state to remove those barriers to trade. But then finally, who is going to do that actual business? Who is going to do trade and investment? It's the private sector. So I think now we really need to have a conversation on what needs to happen to increase capacity of private sector to trade more, to invest more. What needs to happen to empower farmers, for example, if it is agricultural produce, for them to be able to produce more, but create a seamless value chain or connection to the markets in neighboring countries.
He furthermore emphasizes the role of the private sector to boost trade and investment, as Tanzania and Kenya are set to expand their trade and investment relations to drive economic growth.
For example, of eliminating all the non-tariff barriers between the 2 countries by the end of this month, latest by the end of June. That by itself, every time that we have eliminated or reduced non-tariff barriers, it is Tanzania that has benefited by increasing its trade to Kenya. So I am very optimistic that the results of the forum today will add a lot of value, will open markets to farmers in Tanzania, will open access to investors to invest more in Kenya, but also will open opportunities for employment creation through joint projects between Tanzania and Kenya.
Following President Ruto's visit to Tanzania, both countries, Tanzania and Kenya, have emphasized a shift from competition to collaboration as the 2 countries continue to be the largest trading partners in the East African Community, EAC. Head of Government Communication Unit, Ambassador Mindi Kasiga, says Tanzania is strategically positioned within the East African Community to play a key role in the regional integration, functioning as a key hub for trade, infrastructure and diplomatic stability. Speaking to TBC News, Ambassador Kasiga insists that EAC integration can be used as a robust model for broader continental unity.
We complement each other. It means now we're opening up the markets. Markets are going to be transformed. Economic sector is going to be transformed between our 2 countries. And if we are indeed giants, like you said, then it means that the region is going to be more integrated economically. And that means our corridors, our sectors of transportation will grow. Our agricultural products will be moving towards Kenya a lot. So indeed, I think this visit today opens up a new chapter.
Furthermore, she says Kenya and Tanzania, being the largest trading partners in the East African Community, deeper ties to be forged will transform the bloc's economic landscape.
So we are in a process of building these economic blocks, not just of East Africa, but in Central Africa, in Northern Africa, West Africa, North and South. I mean, this is a movement that Africa is coming together to make sure that we start with the regional economic blocks to make sure that Africa will have strong economy.
The East African Community, EAC, is actively pursuing a vision of becoming one economy to foster regional economic growth, competitiveness, and sustainable development. Tanzania and the Republic of Turkey have held their first joint commission meeting, marking a significant step in implementing agreement reached between the President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan during her official visit to Turkey in the year 2024. The meeting aims to strengthen bilateral ties across key sectors, including trade, investment, agriculture, manufacturing, and healthcare. The meeting took place earlier today in Dar es Salaam, bringing together stakeholders from both countries, ranging from diplomats to investors. Esther Deus was there and has prepared the following report.
Tanzania and the Republic of Turkey have maintained strong diplomatic relations since 1963. And this latest engagement comes at a crucial time as both nations demonstrate renewed political commitment to expanding cooperation for mutual benefit. The Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Ambassador Said Musa, highlights the strategic approach that will guide the implementation of the agreements reached under the Joint Commission.
Inviting different investors to come to Tanzania, and of course we are encouraging the investors from Tanzania to invest in the Republic of Turkey. And we are doing this by encouraging and calling upon the business community of Tanzania through their different forums, to do that. And this is one approach. But we are doing this through our embassies. The United Republic ambassador accredited to the Republic of Turkey, and likewise the ambassador of Turkey in Dar es Salaam, to encourage the investors and the business people, the business community, to come with us to implement what we have agreed.
The ambassador of the Republic of Turkey to Tanzania elaborates further on the significance of the Memorandum of Understanding signed, insisting it's not only symbolic, but also will serve as a practical roadmap to deepen sustainable bilateral cooperation through concrete actions.
That we sign is not only, text and as you were asking, it will not stay on the text. Already, since many years, we are working on those issues. All those articles and the areas, we already have a close relationship. Just taking advantage of this commission, we wanted to comply all the willingness and the cooperation area under one text to be able to have kind of roadmap, written roadmap, to be able to present to our two presidents the good job, the homeworks that we are doing with regard to develop our cooperation in every field. As I mentioned, from defense to agriculture, from health to education.
The Joint Commission meeting was officially launched on May 4th, marked by the signing of an agreement on the avoidance of double taxation by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Ambassador Muhammad Thabit Kombo, and the second session of the Joint Commission is scheduled to take place next year in Ankara, Turkey. Esther Deus, TBC News.
From diplomacy, we move now to the mining sector, where Tanzania continues to transform its mining sector to ensure locals benefit from natural resources, with a strong focus on empowering small and medium-scale miners through financing, formalization, and modern technology adoption. Speaking to TBC News during a meeting on de-risking mining finance in Dar es Salaam, Commissioner for Minerals from the Minister of Minerals, Dr. Abdurrahman Mwanga, reaffirms the implementation of the government's plan to conduct a countrywide airborne geophysical survey, which he believes will transform the country's small and medium-scale mining sector.
And one of the important parameter is the data. And the geological data, they are very important for de-risking many projects. And you can see seriously, the government has secured some funds to ensure that we are going to conduct the geophysical airborne geophysical survey to cover the whole country. And our target is that by 2030, we must reach 50% survey of our country.
On the other hand, the managing director of ASNL Advisory, Humphrey Simba, says it's imperative for the government, mining sector, and the banking industry to work together, while the executive director of Tanzania Bankers Association, Tuse Mwaikasu, affirms major progress in de-risking the mining finance.
we are sitting in a position where the government is supporting the growth of medium and small-scale mining. And the other better way to accelerate growth is for local banks to finance these mid-tier mining projects. We believe there'll be a common understanding established, and we also expect that the regulator, the Bank of Tanzania, the Tanzania Bankers Association, and all those that are involved into the value chain will understand the sector, and the ASNL is here to support them into de-risking the mining sector.
We are now seeing the green light somewhere. The collaboration that we have with the mining sector, the minister in charge of mining, the collaboration that we have with Tume ya Madini, the collaboration that we are now going to continue having with ASNL is going to bridge the banking sector with the mining industry. So what we are going to see now is more informed partners. We expect the mining side to be more informed of what they need to put in place before they access the loan. But also from the bank side, we expect the bankers, and that's why we are here, to understand what are the challenges, what are the needs of the mining side for us to design relevant products that are going to solve their problems.
The Tanzanian mining sector's contribution to GDP has reached 11.9%, generating $5.4 billion in exports in the year 2024, now contributing 1.41 trillion Tanzanian shillings to the country's overall revenue target. Remaining in the mining sector, Perseus Mining Company has reaffirmed its commitment to invest $523 million in the Nyanzaga gold mine in Sengerema, Mwanza region, which is expected to start operations in January next year. Speaking in Dar es Salaam, the managing director of the Perseus Mining Company, Greg Jones, has said Nyanzaga gold mine aligns with Tanzania's long-term development goals, including the National Vision 2050, by ensuring that the mining sector contributes significantly to the country's economy.
Nyanzaga gold mine is a 4 million ounce reserve gold deposit. So by constructing this $523 million project, we will be producing gold for the next 16 years. And that will result in revenues to the local economy, to communities, for that period of time that we're operating. So whether it be through development of people, through development of capability, through paying royalties and taxes, to employing locals to run our business, and including, engaging local companies and businesses in supporting us in operating our asset, is how Perseus will continue to contribute to the 2050 goals of Tanzania.
On the other hand, Leanne De Bruin, who is the Chief Financial Officer, says the construction of the project alone has created employment for over 3,000 local workers and contractors.
In the region of about $250 million. We have over 3,000 people employed in the at the mine site, and we are about nearly 50% progress on the project.
The government owns a 20% stake at the Nyanzaga gold mine and is expected to play a major role in boosting employment, enhancing skills development, increasing tax revenues, and strengthening business partnerships, positioning Tanzania as a key positioning the sector as a key driver of Tanzania's long-term economic growth. The Director General of the Vocational Education and Training Authority in VETA, Anthony Kasore, says that the ongoing construction of 65 vocational training colleges across the country is a key government initiative aimed at addressing unemployment. Kasore made the remarks in Dar es Salaam during the signing ceremony of an agreement between VETA and the telecommunication company Airtel, where through the partnership, VETA allows a student to complete 40% theoretical coursework via smartphone and 60% via practical training at VETA centers.
Government has put aside and it just provided to VETA 100 billion to ensure that with the construction of 65 centers in the country, 64 in different districts and one in one region, Songwe region. So we are expecting in this year, mid-September, we are going to increase the number of vocational education and training that are owned by VETA from 80 centers to 145 centers after the completion of the construction of these 65 centers.
Airtel has also invested 80 million shillings back into VETA to support further training activities in this regard. This partnership directly supports the vision of Her Excellency, President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, in line with the Tanzania's Development Vision 2030. Through VETA, courses on Airtel Visomo, that's building a stronger workforce and driving national growth. Members of the media, Airtel Visomo is a story of transformation. Help us spread the word so more Tanzanians can seize.
The National Council for Technical and Vocational Education and Training, NACTIVATE, in collaboration with the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, have launched online life skills and reproductive health course, aligning with Council's mandate to improve the quality of education and support services for students in technical and vocational institutions. Speaking in Dar es Salaam during the launch of the course, NACTIVATE Executive Secretary Dr. Mwajuma Lingwanda said the program will ensure gender inclusion by creating safe and supportive learning environments.
This achievement represents a transition from readiness to action. We are building on solid groundwork, including system preparation, institutional capacity building, and successful pilot implementation to now scale up this initiative for wider national impact. The objectives of today's launch are to strengthen awareness and institutional commitment to CSE, officially activate the online platform, demonstrate its readiness for implementation, and reinforce institutional roles in ensuring effective and sustainable delivery.
A total of 11 students from 7 colleges across the country have already enrolled in the online life skills and reproductive health course. Well, now in our today's We Are Tanzania segment, we explore African World Heritage Day, as Africa marks a day dedicated to celebrating and protecting the continent's rich cultural and natural heritage. Declared by UNESCO in the year 2015, this day reminds us of the importance of preserving iconic sites and to define our identity and contribute to global heritage. In Tanzania, we are proud to be home to some of the world's most remarkable heritage sites, from the vast plains of the Serengeti National Park to the towering heights of Mount Kilimanjaro. Antonia Kivaria will take us on a journey into the heart of Tanzania's heritage.
Utanzania wangu ni muungano wetu na tofauti zetu zisibadilike tu.
Tanzania stands as a symbol of Africa's natural beauty and cultural richness. At the heart of this legacy is Serengeti National Park, a globally recognized site famous for hosting the largest land animal migration on Earth. Every year, over 1 million wild beasts, alongside zebra and gazelles, move across the plains in search of water and greener pastures, a breathtaking natural spectacle that continues to attract visitors from around the world. Rising above the African's landscape is Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest peak on the continent and the tallest freestanding mountain in the world. More than just a destination, Kilimanjaro represents resilience, ambitions, and the spirit of Tanzania. Not far away lies Ngorongoro Conservation Area, a unique site where nature and culture exist side by side. Known for a world-famous Ngorongoro crater, the area is a home not only to diverse wildlife, but also to communities that have preserved their traditions for generations. These sites are recognized globally for their outstanding universal value, but they also face growing challenges from climate change to human activities that threatens their sustainability. Protecting these heritage sites not only about preserving nature, but also about safeguarding our identity and future. Through partnership led by UNESCO and local efforts, Tanzania continues to invest in conservation and ensuring that these treasures are protected for generations to come. As we celebrate African World Heritage Day, the message is clear. Our heritage is our pride, our responsibility, and our future. From Serengeti to Kilimanjaro and Ngorongoro Conservation Area, these are not just destinations. They are stories of who we are. And this makes Tanzania unforgettable. Antonia Kivaria, TBC News.
Utanzania wangu ni muungano wetu na tofauti zetu zisibadilike tu.
In sports news, the President, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, has met and held talks with a Chelsea and Ivory Coast legend, Didier Drogba, today at Chamwino State House in Dodoma. The meeting follows Drogba's arrival in Tanzania on May 3rd at the invitation of the Minister for Information, Culture, Arts and Sports, Paul Makonda. President Dr. Samia officially requested Drogba to serve as a goodwill ambassador for Tanzania ahead of the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations, which Tanzania will co-host.
First of all, I'm very happy to be here in Tanzania and to have the honor to meet the president. And I've been invited here by the Minister of Sport and, of course, the president to see how I can be helpful in the AFCON preparation because I believe that the sports industry is getting bigger here. Yesterday I was at the parliament and I saw that the budget for sport has increased, for example, from 12 million to more than 200 million, which is amazing because sport is an amazing tool for development. And I'm very happy to have been approached to help the country to develop this sector. And you can count on me to do my best because I know it will help the youth, it will help the communities, and that's why I'm glad to be here.
Well, that's sports news. Now, before we conclude the news bulletin for tonight, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
A warm welcome to you and thank you for joining us. This is 24 hours weather forecast from Tanzania Meteorological Authority, starting from tonight, 9 p.m. For tonight, over Lake Victoria Basin, we expect partly cold condition, thunder showers over a few areas. For northeastern island and northern coast, we expect partly cold condition, rain showers over a few areas. The remaining parts of the country is expected to be dry. For tomorrow, wind is expected to flow at the speed of 20 kilometers per hour. The state of the lake and the state of the sea is expected to be slight. And now let us see of the weather details. For Lake Victoria Basin, western part of the country, northeastern highland, Tanga, Pembe Nduguja Isos, Dar es Salaam, and Pwani including Mafia Isos, Lindi, and Twara region, we expect partly cold condition, thunder showers over a few areas, and sun periods. For southwestern highland and Morogoro region, we expect partly cold condition, light rain showers over a few areas, and sun periods. For Singida, Dodoma, and Ruvuma region, we expect partly cold condition and sun periods. And now let us take a look of the next 4 days weather forecast. For Dar es Salaam, we expect thunder showers. Dodoma, we expect sun periods. For Mbeya, we expect light rain. Mwanza, we expect thunder showers. Kilimanjaro, we expect thunder showers and rain showers on 10th of May. Morogoro, we expect thunder showers. And Arusha, we expect thunder showers and rain